Great. And I hope you can see my screen now. So planning and mindset to eliminate cravings. And why is that not working? There we are. Okay, so you are here because we might be struggling with weight, or you might be feeling anxious, or perhaps you have cravings and eat more actually than you want, or you're sometimes low on energy with most of the time, right? That can be also something. So I'm getting people here who are joining. So welcome here. So if you are, then write that in the comment. What are your struggles? Share that with me in the comments so I know what are your biggest struggle and why you're here. And if one of these things is actually what you are thinking that it is, right, then you're definitely in the right place. So what I will share today are the reasons for your cravings. They are really important to understand. There are reasons. I always believe there are root causes in life that help, or that make people show certain types of symptoms and signs. And signs are weight gain, or cravings or so. So I will definitely share with you the reasons of cravings, why you might be in the past have been struggling to lose weight, or why you maybe lost some weight and you were not able to keep it down. So you were not able to keep to a healthy way of eating actually. And the reasons why you actually can't keep up with your habits. I believe that we all are actually, we know what we should be eating, but it's difficult to keep up, right? Because that's just how life is. And I will, of course, the title of this masterclass is how planning can help you to overcome cravings, and why the mindset is so important to eliminate cravings and weight struggles. That's really the key, and that's something I will share today with you. But first of all, perhaps a quick hello from me. My name is Andrea Caprio. I'm a Master Certified Transformational Nutrition Coach, and I specialize in helping people, special busy people. I work mostly with women to help them to overcome their struggles with emotional eating, with cravings, weight issues, but also the clients who work with me usually have any kind of chronic illnesses. That could be diabetes, there could be hormonal issues, or some have autoimmune issues or thyroid conditions or so. So a lot of my clients are working with these. And I see Janine is struggling to lose weight. So definitely you are in the right place. And I have been there too. Many years ago, I was not a nutrition coach. I was in another field, and I was feeling tired all the time. I had a couple of pounds too many, and I had digestive issues. I always felt bloated. I had constant migraines, weekly migraines, and I felt really just not right. And I had hormonal issues. I had to remove 3 times my fibroids, actually, because they were growing. So that is estrogen dominance, which of course at the time I didn't know. And when I started discovering how healthy eating helped me, I followed a specific plan of eating at the time, and I realized how that helped me. I literally, within a very short time, I lost weight. I got so much more energy. My bloating disappeared. And in the time after, especially, that obviously took time, but over time, I realized I didn't have migraines anymore. So now I have perhaps 2 to 3 migraines a year. Before I had it weekly. And my fibroids, which I had to remove because they grew all the time again after removal, they never came back after that, right? So I want to say that really by seeing myself how the right nutrition and the lifestyle helped in my life, I actually then started studying, opened my practice, and I'm helping now hundreds of people actually to overcome their issues. So this is one of my clients, Amy, who has been working with me in my group coaching program the whole of last year. My group coaching program normally is a minimum of 3 months. Most people stay 6 to 8 months. She stayed 12 months with me. She loved it, and she's absolutely a wonderful client. She came with a lot of weight struggles. She lost a lot of weight. She didn't get completely to her goal yet, but I know she's on her way. I'm still in contact with her actually, but she lost probably 25 pounds or so over the time. But what was really nice to see is really that she felt better in her body, right? Because very often we feel bad about ourselves when we are somehow in a spin. So she suddenly felt really good about herself, and she got this right feeling about feeling right in her body and having the right relationship with food. And that was something which most of my clients say actually that's really, really big. So for me, the question to you is, are you ready to find out more? Tell me in the comments, maybe. So I want to share with you why diets don't work. Most of the diets that some of you might have been trying are too strict. Most people who come and see me say, they've tried diet after diet. I call it yo-yo dieting. And they really struggle to keep it up, right? Because diets are just very strict and to one-sided. They might be okay to follow a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but then usually people get back. Now, that can't work in the long term. And that's why so many people actually lose weight, but then put it back on. Also, very often, so-called diets or approaches are too one-sided. They're too limited. So, like say the low-carb diet, it's just not healthy to cut out carb. We need all those things. We need carbs, we need fat, we need protein. We need, of course, a lot of nutrients. So if you start cutting out completely a group, like for example, the keto diet is such an example. The keto diet, in my opinion, is not a healthy approach, right? It can be good for certain people. For example, it is recommended for people with epilepsy, but there are normally not long-term normal approaches or so. And otherwise they become a diet, which is too strict, too one-sided, and just not healthy because you end up having deficiencies. Also, very often the approaches are that they're not personalized. We are all different. You are different from me. I'm different from you. What works for one is not working for the other. So I believe really in personalized approach. And then the other thing I believe in is looking at the root cause, because if you just follow a diet, it becomes a band-aid. A band-aid is normally a patch, right? You put, that's usually when you go to the doctor and they give you medication. Most doctors don't look at the root causes. If you have a doctor who does, you're very lucky, but most doctors don't. They just give you a band-aid. And a diet often becomes that as well. And then the next point is, that it's really important to learn and embrace those basic skills. Those skills maybe your grandmother had, right? Cooking natural food, going back to the basics and so on. So that's really important. And learning how to implement habits, those healthy habits, and keep them is really important and is missing. And of course, not having a holistic approach is really something that, it's so important in diets that you look at the whole. So why do you have struggles with maybe weight issues or so? So there are often the issues that it's hormone imbalance, or it might be going down to the root causes of gut issues. So in my group coaching program, I look at all these issues and I work with my clients on addressing hormone imbalances and gut issues and all that. Very often also people are eating the wrong foods, right? If we are, for example, maybe intolerant to gluten or dairy, I give that also as always as a sample, and we continue eating this, it's really damaging for us. So it's really struggling. Lifestyle, of course, we have to look into that. If we are not hydrated, if we're not sleeping, if there's stress or so, neurotransmitters, all these things are really important. But more important, what I see is the mindset. And that's often where people struggle is, when they believe they can't lose the weight, or when they have a missing purpose, or when they're maybe actually not clear why they want to lose that weight. And very often people think they need to rely on willpower. I always say that you have a bag with coins of willpower. And when you take them all out, there's none left, right? And that's why I believe there are other things that you can do to actually overcome willpower issue. So what works instead? Planning and mindset. Okay, that was easy because that's the title of our masterclass. So you knew that. So planning skills is, of course, something I am big on and I want to share a little bit more about. But first of all, give me a second. I want to share with you actually, and you will get an email after, and you will find this planner in it. Okay, I share that right here. So you can click on it. You can also click after, but there will be an email with a replay, and you will also get this file. I hope you can open it. It's a PDF with my planner, with my health planner that my team and I have prepared together for you. Now, it's really important that first of all, when you are clear on you want to lose weight, that instead of focusing on diets, you really start planning for your life, right? So start with getting clear on your goal. And it's very important to have SMART goals. I don't know if you heard about SMART goals, but SMART stands as an acronym for specific, measurable, adapted to you, right for you, and timelessly, right? And that's really important. So for example, instead of saying, oh, I want to lose weight, it would be really important for you to say, for example, I want to lose 15 pounds by the 25th of April. That's really specific, right? Maybe that's a wedding you want to attend or whatever it is, but make it super specific. Make it also something that you can achieve, attainable, right? So if you would say, I want to lose 60 pounds by February, first of all, some people do it. I mean, I had one client, she lost in 1.5 months, she lost 25 pounds, I think it was. Yes, but that's 30 pounds in 1.5 months. So, but that's too much. It was not good. I was actually not happy. She lost so much weight in such a short time because it's not really healthy, but most people would also struggle with this. So, and it's really not good. So make it really something that is right for you. And then it's really important why, just to say, oh, I want to lose weight, so I'm healthier. It's not really very sexy, right? It's not exciting. I mean, if you tell me you want to lose weight because you have your daughter or your grandchild or somebody you want to play and you want to be faster and run with her, that is something that's really, really important. So really be clear on the bigger why, the why of the why of the why. And then once you get clear, then it's really important to plan, plan it in advance. So if you say by April, for example, then what do you need to achieve in January, in March, in February? How can you cut it down, right? What is needed to get there, right? So, for example, you want to start very, very small, really, really start small, make it in smaller steps. So it's actually achievable. It's always, how do you eat an elephant, bite by bite, right? You start with one bite. And it's not very good to eat an elephant, by the way, but hey, so it's really important, make it small. So today, what can you start with, right? Maybe you can just increase your water intake, or maybe you can just add a little bit more vegetable every day. But if you have eaten your whole life at McDonald's and suddenly you want to go for a completely healthy vegetarian lifestyle with maybe 3 hours of exercise a day, quite honestly, you're going to fail on that one, right? It's too much. Not most people cannot sustain that unless they are used to do so. So start small and aim for 1% of improvement. If you do 1% improvement after 72 days, you are actually going to get there to 100%. So small. And then, of course, look at the different areas, how to plan healthy habits. Now, that's why I prepared the Healthy Planner for you with my team, where you find, first of all, a little bit getting clear on your goals. And then it allows you really to have the weekly meal plan. It allows you, to have your shopping list there as well, and also track your different things. So plan for the different habits, like the nutrition. Make sure it's balanced. Make sure it's clean, it's nutritious, anti-inflammatory, personalized. You want to look into your lifestyle and plan for that as well. So sleep, water, movement, And of course, stress management. If you are a super stressed person, who is stressed here? Type in the comments. So if you're a stressed person, you want to look at this because stress eating is very real, right? And a lot of people are doing that. So you might want to look into planning for stress management techniques. For example, meditation. Now, a lot of people, when they hear the word meditation, they say, oh no, I cannot do a meditation, because basically they think that a meditation is an hour-long thing where they have to focus only on the meditation. A meditation can be 1 minute. A meditation can be while you walk. It can be short. You do not need not to think about things, right? Because the thing is that we're trying to train our mind to realize that, to be in the present, and to realize that we are thinking about things. So when you meditate and you realize that you're actually thinking about your shopping list, just by realizing that, you are actually in the present, and that's already a good thing, right? And you want to build up on that one. So just a little tip here and there. I hope they're helpful. Do you like that? Are you like those tips? Good. Now, other tips. Have a weekly meal plan. So you have in the meal planner, there is, in the planner that you're going to get, or that you have already, there is for you in there also some links. So you might want to go onto them, and on the links you find recipes and meal plan template. So you get a little bit an idea, and you have some samples and you can use them. So that's my gift to you. You have it all in there, so you can start meal planning and preparing your weekly meal plan, and maybe plan for the weekend or whenever you have a bit of time to do batch cooking. So cook in advance and make bigger amounts. I, for example, have on the weekend, actually I did it in the week, to be fair. Normally I do it on the weekend, but this week on Tuesday, I think, in less than 1 hour, because I took my lunchtime for that, I cooked 5 dishes. Was it that much? Yeah, 5 dishes actually. So I did a soup, I did a ratatouille, I did oven baked vegetable, I did green beans, and I did a eggplant dip, baba ganoush. Very nice, love it. Ask me for the recipe. So I did these very quickly. It took me less than an hour, and I have the whole food for the rest of the week. And then I can just add maybe a slice of salmon, or something quick that I want to prepare fresh. And that's really helpful. Just under an hour, okay, I was like very quick. My husband came in the kitchen. He said, what's happening? So it was quite fun, but I needed that because I have a very busy week. I have today, I had to prepare for today. I have a lot of new clients here. I have my group coaching program coming up. So I wanted really to be ready, and I don't have to focus. Journaling daily is also helpful. Journaling daily can help you to plan your day in advance, but also to review your day and plan the next day in advance. So you might want maybe to go and record your wins, or you might want to track something. By the way, in the planner, there's also a little bit thing to track. You might want to track your sleep. You can do that. So there are definitely something that you can do. You want also to journal on your cravings. I'm going to get there right now, but that is something that might be helpful to journal when you have cravings, to get actually clear. And then set yourself a reminder. Now, I love my phone because I can talk to Siri and tell Siri to set a reminder. And then I can talk. Now, I cannot use that word, but it's called Alexa, because she will otherwise talk to me here if I say it loud, but she reminds me also of all the things I need to remember. For example, I got a reminder that I have my masterclass coming up, right? I have reminders that I have to stretch during the day, because I'm often sitting in my office and I get, like I don't move enough, or I have a reminder to drink water as well. How about you? How's your water intake, by the way? How many glasses of water are you drinking? How many do you think you should be drinking? Okay, I give you the answer while you're typing. Not enough. Most people, not enough. So put it in your reminder, set a reminder in your calendar. You have alarms coming up, drink water. There's so many gadgets nowadays that you can use. So definitely something you can do there with the water to get enough in there. Right. So what's happening here? Okay. Sorry, I am losing things here. Okay. Okay, now we are there. I'm so sorry for that. I give you all the presentation here. One of these things. So now we have talked about the planning. So I would love to know what was the most helpful about planning for you. What is the one thing you are going to implement? And I would like you to type that in the comments. So you are really ready to set yourself up for some things you're going to implement this year. What's your goal? What are you going to plan? What are you going to set up your plan in? How will you use your plan? Write that in the comments, because by just writing down maybe the one step you're going to take right now, you are going to commit. And when you write it down and share it with others, you're more likely, I think it's something like 94% actually more likely to stick to it. So share it in the comments. So that's on the planning. I am a big believer about planning because it's really so important also to overcome cravings, right? A lot of cravings happen when we don't plan. So when you plan for your meals, when you plan for your exercise, when you plan for your snacks, the healthy snacks, you're more likely not to eat unhealthy stuff. Great, Janine, you're moving more and drinking more water. Great. Catherine, great. You'll roast a bunch of veggies today. Yes, good. I love that. Well done, guys. That's really the great start. Now, let's speak about the mindset, okay? So when you feel that you fall off a diet or you feel the self-sabotage or so, you might blame yourself or feel guilty. I see that so often with my client, and when people come to see me, they really feel like, setting themselves up negatively. So, for example, trauma and limiting beliefs really are leaving or keeping you stuck in where you are. So, I have shared here a couple of stories, like I see very often. For example, Mary, she thinks, she's been told that she's useless, maybe in her childhood or so, that she's never going to get to her goals or so. Or maybe she had a bad relationship or something, and maybe one of her parents said, she's not studying, she will never achieve her goals. If Mary thinks that, she will never achieve her weight loss goals, right? Because she is stuck in this. If Jennifer has been told her whole life that, in her family everybody is overweight, and the family is like this, and all the women in the families are plump or so, she's gonna stay like this because her subconscious is telling that, and she will self-sabotage herself until she will stay there, right? So she will try to lose weight, and then the self-sabotage kicks in and prevents her to get out in the unknown, because for her, that's obviously, she's afraid, and she's afraid of success, because what might the family think? Or maybe she might, I get that often, that people think, the brother might feel bad if they're successful or so. And then Anna, who has been at home when she was small, and each time her parents came home and gave her chips because they just needed a break because they've been working the whole day. And Anna thought actually that she might not, she's not loved, right? And she could only find love in the chips she's eating, right? And that might be something that's happening as well. That she is really, if you would take away the chips, you would take away the love from here. And that is really, really tough for her. And that's why she continues eating those chips, because she thinks, or her subconscious rather, thinks it's only the chips who love her. So whatever the story is that we tell ourselves, it's super powerful. And it's always, of course, in the subconscious. We don't know that necessarily. So I would love to know from you guys, what story are you telling yourself, right? Is there any story that makes you stay stuck? A story that you say, oh, I will never lose weight, or a story that says, oh, I need, whatever you're eating when you have cravings or so. Share that in the comments while we continue. So I will share with you the 10 steps to really getting clear in your mindset, right? To work to overcome your cravings through your mindset. And that's really something you want to pay attention to. So let me start with step number one. So start noticing when you are feeling triggered, right? Now, this is, I mentioned earlier, journaling. This is really a great thing, what you could do and journal on it. Is when are you triggered? It might be every day you come home, you're super tired or so, that then you have usually cravings. Or it might be when you're stressed at work or whatever it is, but pay attention to when you are feeling triggered actually. And there might be several moments, and notice them, write them down. When you have that, so when you have those cravings, establish if it is real hunger. And a very good thing is, to see on, normally hunger is something that takes time to come in, it's slowly. But when it's unreal hunger, it's normally a very quick thing, right? It comes immediately, right? So pay attention and have a scale. I actually share in my group coaching program, I have a scale, not a scale, but, a handout where I share, what to look out for real hunger and artificial emotional hunger, right? And make the difference there. And ask yourself, what am I really hungry for? Now, that's a big question. And I wonder, what are you really hungry for when you give in to cravings, right? Usually it's not the food, it's never the food, right? It's usually always something else. Now, it might be a purpose, it might be a missing purpose, right? It might be something where you are maybe you want a bit more love. Maybe there's a missing self-love that's missing. Maybe you want some more social connection, especially right now with all the lockdowns and everything what's happening. I mean, it's quite hectic at the moment for a lot of people, me included. So we need to find out, what are we really hungry for? And once we are clear on that one, where does it originate from? I shared earlier the stories with you about where it comes from. If we've been, if maybe in the past, in our childhood or so, that was the initial trigger for this, and we stayed stuck in those, in the past, that might be the origin of our thoughts there, what we are really hungry for. So look for where it's really coming from. And that is something, by the way, that you have to go a little bit deeper, right? It's not a quick answer. I mean, it's really something you might need therapy on, but I do that actually in, when I work with my clients, because I work holistically. I look always into the physical causes and the biochemical, and then in the emotional causes. So in our group coaching program, I have also, there's an extra modules, or there's extra course in there, where there I go very deep into finding out what people are really hungry for. And I have workbooks I'm sharing in my group coaching program where we work on these things actually and really find out what are people hungry for. And that is powerful when you get to there, right? So I see, Janine, overweight is safe. No one will be interested in dating a fat girl, so keeps me emotionally safe. That's a really great point. And thank you so much for sharing so openly here. I appreciate that. And that's your thought, that you have stayed stuck, right? And I always say, is it true, right? Because of course, there are plenty of, in your own words, fat girls that are being dated, right? So definitely it's a limiting belief, a false belief that that we are carrying around with us and we have here. So that's something to work on, because of course it's not true, right? There are amazing, beautiful fat people that are dated, and there are many people who are very happily married that are overweight and so on. But it is definitely something that comes from the past, and I can tell you, as much as I want, you need to do the work. And again, this is something we do in our group coaching program, to go a little bit deeper. But it's definitely something that's very, very powerful to get in, to overcome this. Because when you had that in the past, maybe you had a unhappy experience or so in the past, or somebody had an unhappy experience in the past, and then we stay stuck there. And of course, that prevents us from moving forward in maybe actually being successful, because we want to stay safe, right? Very important to understand. Right. So once we know where it's originated from, accept the feeling and let go. So this is really, I have a method I'm using with my clients, which is called face and embrace. So you face the emotion, you embrace it, and you let go. And by doing that, you diminish the power that negative feeling has on you. So for example, if it's anxiety, right? If you have this anxiety or so, stress or so, you're actually diminishing the power it has over you when you accept it, right? As something, as part, you listen to it. What does it have to say to you? But then gently you let it go as well. You don't beat yourself up. And then you find out what fulfills your emotional hunger actually instead, right? So if you are realizing that you are maybe, you're really missing social connection at the moment, well, maybe you just call a friend when you're having cravings. Sometimes it is that you actually just need some water, right? Hydration, very important. Most people are not drinking enough water. We had that earlier. So you might just want to drink a glass of water, or maybe you want to go for a walk or so. So find out, what you can do to fulfill that emotional hunger and try a little bit. If you still then after that, give it some time, and after that you're still hungry, then practice mindful eating. Now, I am passionate about mindful eating, and to be honest, I'm not practicing it all the time. But just by getting a little bit clearer on mindful eating is really a lot done, because your digestive system needs time to digest. And when you take time, it has actually time to get full, right? You feel that you're full, and then you don't eat so much. So it's really, really important to practice mindful eating, to be more in tune with what you're eating, like not eat while you're on your phone. Who is guilty of that, right? And I'm guilty too. I do it. Of course I do it. I don't eat on my computer. I don't eat, while I'm at my computer. So, we always eat all the meals either in the kitchen. We have a nice little table, or in our dining room, or outside in summer. But I really, I'm about, being present there when you eat. Again, in my group coaching program, I practice mindful eating. It's one of those sessions that's really fun usually. So practice mindful eating. And if you go overboard, acknowledge it, let go. Don't beat yourself up, because you will continue into the cycle of guilt, shame, and then eating more because you feel guilty and shame. Who is doing that? So many people, right? Just again, acknowledge it, let it, diminish the power, let it go, and get back in the saddle and just go back into practicing what you want. You will get better, right? And I can tell you, when you do that, it will not immediately be the perfect thing. But it's definitely possible that after some time you're getting there. Remember, you are not broken. It's not you. You're not doing things badly. You are not a bad person or anything. You deserve to be healthy and happy. And you are able to reach your goals. And you are loved as well. Very powerful thing to do is to go in front of the mirror and tell yourself, I love you. And you can use your name, right? And say that all the time, or start your day with a positive, something positive, I'm able to do that, or I'm a beautiful person, or I'm highly skilled at whatever it is, right? Or something like that, a positive mantra. Very, very big thing. We spend too much time in negative self-talk, especially as women. We normally beat ourselves up, and we give too much to others. So we are not practicing self-love and self-care. Who is guilty? I guess everybody will say me, because unfortunately, as women, I have so far always met women, and it's not only the mothers, by the way, but as women, we are more the caregiver, right? We are giving to others, we are helping others. It's the nature. I think it's our hormones that play a role. I don't know what it is, but it's so important that we take care of ourselves. So self-love and self-care, and then show up and commit. So I'm asking you, are you ready to fully commit and show up? I'm really asking you that, because that's important as well, that you take a decision. All right, talking a lot here. Take a breather, take some breathing exercises, right? So who else is ready to commit, to fully commit this year to make this year a better year, right? So if you are ready to commit, then I have something for you. I've mentioned to you already my End Emotional Eating group coaching program, because I have put together last year already a group coaching program, which was absolutely amazing. And I've decided I want to run it again this year. Right? Because this is a program I have put together with working with all my clients and really helping them to overcome emotional eating, cravings, weight issues, and health issues. And I see, Catherine, maybe how can you get it to a yes, right? Important that you really put it for a wonderful yes. Now, I have this group coaching program I'm sharing with you. And by the way, you want to stay here until the end because I have a special surprise for those who are staying here. And I just want to share here in the comments the link to my group coaching program already. So you have it, and I'm going to share it with you. So this program is a wonderful group coaching program within a group of people who are all struggling with emotional eating, cravings, weight loss, or some health issues. And I put it really together for this group. Most of the people are women, and most of the people are really women in the middle of their age, who are very busy. So I really pride myself to put things together, do it very personalized for people who are busy. So this program is really for you if you have struggles with maybe overeating, your cravings or so, you feel often overwhelmed or anxious, you have obviously overweight issues or chronic health issues or mood swings. And I also see a lot of these people who have that, who might be tired or struggle with productivity and just are not getting the control. They have tried everything and anything and are just not getting there. So when you join my group coaching program, what can you expect, right? Now, I'm sharing with you things I've seen my clients have. Now, I don't know you. Everybody is different. I cannot promise you anything, of course, but I see mostly when people start working with me that after 2 to 3 weeks, they start having the best results, right? And they start having the first results in different areas. They're not always the results in the area they want to, right? The weight usually is something that takes a little bit longer because you need, first of all, to get all the other areas right before getting to the weight, right? The weight is a sign and symptom. If you have not addressed the root cause of your weight, might it be hormonal, digestive, or whatever it is, you will not lose that weight. And that's why it's so important to have this work together. So you get, of course, then you can get things like cravings that are less, weight that tumbles. And I see that often after 2, 3 weeks. And by the way, if you say, oh, I will never lose my cravings, the one thing I really love is that my clients tell me that usually, and after a couple of weeks or a couple of months, they say that they're craving vegetables, whereas initially they said that they hate vegetables. So that's quite funny for me because it makes me always smile and very, very happy. That's the time I do happy dances because I do happy dances. Very important to do happy dances. So you get also more productive. I see that more energy. Lots of people get more energy. And then the stress obviously improves, and digestive area is one thing I work a lot. A lot of people have acid reflux, they have bloating and things like that, or pain. So I help them really to improve these areas as well. And then, of course, mood swings and anxiety is something, and pain or improvement of chronic diseases, immune system. A lot of my clients take medications, and after some time, they might be able to cut down on the medication or stop it altogether. That's, however, an area that's out of my realm that they have to see with their doctors, right? Now, I have one client I'm very proud. That's actually the client I mentioned earlier, Dana. That's a testimonial she wrote about me. She was really happy to have felt me. She is, in her own words, morbidly obese. And she has done a lot of work with other people already and never succeeded. Dana, this is something she wrote. She wrote after a couple of weeks ago, actually. But Dana initially is the client who lost 30 pounds after 1.5 months. That was the first thing she sent to me. And she continues working with me. So she did a 6 months with me and continues working with me as well. So that was really, really nice. She's an amazing client. I work with her on a lot of things. So, what do you get when you join my group coaching program? So, first of all, I have 2 bi-weekly group coaching sessions. They are 1 hour. And normally the value is $397 per month, but wait, you get a special price at the end, of course. So these 2 bi-weekly group coaching sessions are the time when I coach you. So during the sessions, normally we start with celebrating wins. You bring to the group coaching session your struggles, and then I coach everybody or most of the people who has an issue or so on these struggles. And what is really good is that you learn from others, right? We often find similar problems. We all are different, and I'm very proud that I can personalize my group coaching program to everybody's issues, but we definitely learn. If I share with Catherine, for example, some snack tips, I'm sure it's also helpful for Janine, right? Etc. So we do things together. I might practice a meditation, stress management tips, how to do meal plans, um, how, the best digestive foods or so, whatever it is. So each time it's something, quite fun. And we do some workbooks as well. We do a lot of mindset work together. I often give some homework, right? So you actually at the end are committing to steps you're going to take. So again, accountability, very important in here. And you can go forward in that one. And then, so we have these 2 bi-weekly group coaching sessions. And then you have the access to my self-study program, which is my weight loss program, which has every 2 weeks a new module. And in each module, you get videos and you get resources like workbooks, lists, meal plans, recipes, whatever they are. And they're always different themes. So I do all the education in there. So I help you, for example, I teach you how to make a meal plan, or I teach you how to improve your digestive system, right? Or maybe you have, there's some there's a personalized thyroid protocol in here, or whatever it is, stress management tips. So each time there are different things, and obviously it builds up on each other. So you can do that in your own time. And then there are a lot of bonuses. I have unlimited digital coaching and accountability tracking. So the digital coaching, I have a platform that I'm using that's also an app. In there, for example, you can do the food tracking, and I can check it out every day if you want me to. And I can get back and say, hey, Mary, I've seen that you eat too many carbs. Let's try cut it down a little bit, make it a bit more balanced. That helps you with balancing your hormones as well, and helps you to overcome cravings, because if you eat too many carbs, you're actually nourishing those little craving gremlins, and that leads to more cravings. So let's work on increasing your fiber and maybe adding some protein and cutting down on the starchy carbs, right? So we can work. So you have me in your pocket every day. That's worth a lot. I mean, you get access to me every day. And additionally, we have a group in there, so you also can group chat. And by the way, the idea of the group is, of course, to support each other, right? You see what others do, you get the motivation, you can share things and all that. And that's really, really important, that you are able to get the support from each other and see how other people are doing things, right? And that's really, really something that's great. Now, you get also access to my 10-day transformational reset diet, which is a standalone program that helps you to get rid of toxins. It's like a cleanse, all on its own. You get this additionally as a bonus, and you get a meal and lifestyle plan of your choice. Now, I have another app that I'm using where I give access. It's normally a different program, but I give you as a bonus access, and there's a full meal plan for 28 days that you can get. And there are personalized meal plans which are much more therapeutic. So I have some for cardiovascular health, I have some for thyroid conditions, some for weight loss, etc. They're all different. And so I can give you and set you up for that one for that. So you get all of this together. Total value is $681 per month and $194 off. If you join today, you get a special price. And right now, here it is. So I have a special offer for my End Emotional Eating group coaching program that basically, instead of the normal normally it's $397 per month. You get it for 3 months. If you sign up and pay upfront for the 3 months, you get it for $697. So that's basically $229 per month. And you pay after the 3 months, then you pay monthly $229. So it's a really, really special price for those who want to sign up and pay upfront. You also can, if you want, pay monthly, and then instead of $397, it's $297. So you save every month $100, and you get all the value I mentioned earlier. I have a special price for those who sign up on the call and today, that you get a 30-minute session with me. So in the 30-minute session, we do it on Zoom as well. I will coach you personally, and I can personalize a little bit more your journey forward, and I can do even a little assessment and plan your personalized protocol adapted to your issues, whatever they are, on your way forward. So you get this 30-minute session. It's a value of $267. You get that if you sign up today. Okay, this is only for those who sign up today. So you have to be quick. You have the link there. I also shared it in the chat here, and you see it also on the screen. And additionally to that, you get my happiness guarantee. Now, the group coaching program is for 3 months, a minimum, right? After that, you can stay as long or as short as you want. I have some clients after 3-4 months, they stop, they're happy with everything, they got everything they needed, and others, they continue. Like Amy, she stayed with me for 12 months. So up to you, but 3 months is the minimum. However, I offer the happiness guarantee if within the first 30 days you realize that you don't like it for whatever reason. I've not had one client, I had only. But if for whatever reason, it's not for you, or maybe whatever, you can cancel and you get the refund of anything you haven't used, right? If you paid upfront for 3 months and you cancel within the first month, I will obviously then refund you the 2 months, right? Or any other session you haven't used. How does that sound? Do you like that? Who is interested? I would love to know your feedback. I will now open a Q&A. So for those who have either questions for my group coaching program, or who have other questions of things I mentioned earlier today when I was speaking about planning and when I was speaking about your mindset. So whatever questions you have, I'm happy to take you on here. I actually want to stop the screen. How can I stop this? Oops, stop share here. Sorry, I'm working with 2 screens here. So I'm happy that I have you here. It's really great that you were here. So the group coaching program, as I mentioned, is available right now. I'm opening a new group this year. It's going to start in a couple of days or weeks, like 1 week or so, until everybody gets in. So you have time to join it. As I mentioned, it's a 3-month program. And you get from there, you can get all the resources, you get all the group coaching. By the way, all the group coaching calls are recorded. So if ever you cannot join any call, you can always watch the recording. Right now, I would love to know if there are any questions, and I would love also to have your feedback. What has been the most helpful, the most useful or valuable you had today? And any questions you have, please let me know in the comments. Great. Wonderful. Okay, so I think I must have been very thorough today. Today I have been I've been putting this nice slideshow together. I hope you liked it. I spent a lot of time and had lots of fun actually preparing that. Normally, I do my master classes just like this, but today I said, let me put a nice slideshow so it's easier for you to visualize. And some people like to take pictures actually of it. And Janine, understanding where your cravings come from, that's really, really good that it helped you, because I always believe that when you understand where things are coming from, you can work on it. And we are working within my group coaching program, we are working on the different areas to find out really where things are coming from, right? If you're having digestive issues, for example, a lot of people have acid reflux right now. When you have acid reflux, most doctors are giving you actually acid blockers, which make things worse, right? Because acid reflux is usually not due to too high acid, but to too low acid, because it prevents the flap, for example, for not working. And the acid, even if it's low, it comes up the esophagus, and that can cause acid reflux or GERD. And that's one of the things, like then finding out with my help, because I have a really nifty little test that you can do at home. You can find out if you have too low stomach acid. It's not a scientifically proven test, but it gives you an idea. And then we can work on improving your stomach acid, for example. And that's really, really helpful, because then everything else in your digestive system comes after your stomach, right? Mouth, stomach, and then after. And you want to make sure it starts well, because if it doesn't start well, most probably the rest is not going to go well, right? So very important. Janine, like the planning aspect is very important. Absolutely. So getting clear on the planning, getting this right, having everything planned out, just leaves so much less chances of something unforeseen happening. However, it's also important to plan for the unforeseen. I always say have the plan B in place. For example, I like to have always some nuts with me when I go out. Water always, and nuts, right? It's something that's easy to carry around. And if I'm delayed by somewhere, if I'm delayed or so, I'm sure I have the water and I have the nuts, because that's often when people run to the petrol station, to the gas station, and get maybe some unhealthy things there, right? Or whatever it is. So it's really important to plan these things. Right, let me wrap up. I wanted to keep it for about an hour. Any other questions, please do contact me. I do hope to see you in the group coaching program. Please remember, it's a limited time offer, but where you get the 30 minutes session with me only today. And also the group coaching program has a limit of people. I don't want to make my groups too big. So if I decide, the group coaching program is closed, then it will be closed, and then you would have to wait until I open a next group coaching program. So be quick. I hope to see you inside. I'm going to start off with lots of energy. It's the perfect time, the beginning of the year, to really join and get clear on your goals, get clear on planning, work on your mindset, and get you to implement healthy habits that work with your goals, that work for you. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really had fun with you. And my name is Andrea Caprio. You can always join me. If you have any question, of course, please just send me a message. Thank you so much, and bye-bye. And bye to those who watch the replay.